so the piece is called Strokes Through the Tail. There was a time when I was going to call it Tails and Tutu, or Tutus and Tail, and then we decided that Strokes Through the Tail was better. You're probably thinking, why is it called Strokes Through the Tail? Well, just shortly before the premiere, I was flicking through the score from the Symphony No. 40, which is the music, Mozart, and I was reading a little footnote from the editor, and interestingly enough, Mozart used a method which was putting a stroke through the tail of the note, and this stroke gave the musician the freedom to play the note long or short. So I thought that was quite nice, because any kind of freedom in art I think is just great. So that's when we decided, yes, it's a good title, so Strokes Through the Tail. It's a piece I did for Hubbard Street Dance Company in 2005, which we just found out about. I tend to forget dates. That was a really nice experience. Jim Vincent invited me to do my second piece for the company, Hubbard Street Dance Company. And the really nice thing about it was a project together with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Pinkar Sukuman, who I've been always a great fan of. He was an amazing violinist. So he's conducting now, and he was conducting the orchestra. And the plan was that the orchestra was going to be, well, they were on stage, and then the dance happened in front. So for me, that was also why I decided to work with the tails jacket. So the men wear tails jacket, and the girl has this kind of a white tutu skirt on. At some point, it does switch over, actually. And so, you know, the piece, at first well, of course, I had to decide on the music. The task was use Mozart, any Mozart. So back in Germany, I started to listen to all the Mozart that I knew and didn't know. And it's amazing how much music Mozart wrote. Incredible. Anyway, in the end, I decided to go for Symphony No. 40, which is very popular, but I immediately started to see lots of images, and I thought, this is really something I'd like to do. And at first, I really imagined the dancers as little black notes dancing on a white space. So my feeling, or my wish, was to bring the music alive through the movement. When I started working with the dancers, of course, the notes started to have personality, which is why I suppose the title Strokes Through the Tail is quite good, because each note, each dancer had the choice to put personal input in there. So the notes became very unique and personal. So even if they're notes, even if the dances are meant to be notes, they're still they've all got a crazy and wonderful character. 5 men in the piece, and 1 very lucky woman who gets to dance with all those guys. And it was a really nice experience in Chicago, as always. I then did the piece. Well, I think they toured all over, in fact, Hubbard Street Dance Company with the piece. They even went to the Hollywood Bowl, which I would have loved to have gone to see, but it wasn't possible. And they performed it with, I think it was the Los Angeles Philharmonic, with another very wonderful, famous conductor whose name I can't think of right now. Anyways, a couple of years later, I did it on my company, the Donlon Dance Company in Saarbrücken, the Saarländische Staatstheater, Saarbrücken, and we had lots of casts. In fact, it's also a piece which can be done with the 5 men and 1 woman, but we also did it with 5 women and 1 very lucky man. So it's fun, you can play around with it a lot. So the next thing was Vasco Wallenkamp invited me to come and do the piece on the company here in Portugal, the National Ballet of Portugal, and I was really happy to get the invitation, because Vasco had sent me DVDs of the company. I saw the dancers and I knew some of the dancers, and of course it was just a real honor and a treat for me to come here and put this piece. The piece is very special for me, and it's always exciting to rebuild it on another company, because you find new personalities and new flavors and new colors. So I came first in, I think it was end of February, saw the company, and I brought one of my dancers, one of my main dancers, Yan Hee Yeon, and we started to work with the company, and it was just clear that this piece will work beautifully on this company. So since then I've been working very hard, pushing, and yesterday we did our first run through. So I'm really happy where it's at. We've got lots of cleaning to do, but it's exciting to see how it's the same piece, but yet it's different. It's got a kind of Portuguese flair. And I keep saying to the dancers, listen, don't worry what the video, you know, because sometimes we refer to the video from either my company in Saarbrücken or Chicago. But I say now to the dancers, forget the video, we have now a Portuguese version, so version number 3. So how different is the piece here? I haven't really sat down and analyzed it, but I mean the dancers here are very, maybe more classically trained than Hubbard. They do a lot more classical repertoire, so the work is very fine, it's very beautiful lines and stuff, but I think as well that, I mean, it's like how people are different. It's just different because of their personalities. But I'll analyze it and I'll let you know, or maybe you can just have a look and see for yourself. Well, what the public can expect is not a very, very serious and heavy piece. It's light, and it's just fun to see how the different characters interact. I think it's a very energetic piece, and it has very beautiful moments and funny moments. And well, you know, Mozart always makes me feel good, so I think together with the music, you feel good. It would be very nice to create something new for this company. For me, it's always easier actually to create on a company rather than put a piece, because you have to, of course, find the dances to sort of fit in a little bit with how you created it before. So for me, it's much easier to create something fresh, and I love working with people and personalities. And this company definitely has a lot of great personalities.